What's up, guys? Okay, as I promised, guys, part 2 of the Dubois versus Parker face-to-face. So let me get straight into it. If you haven't seen my part 1, definitely check my part 1 out, guys. I break down the psychology, who I think has the edge mentally before the fight, and just looking a bit deeper into it. So check out the first video. But without further ado, let's get into part 2, guys, and I'll break this down bit by bit.
So I'm here with the current IBF heavyweight champion of the world, Daniel Dubois, and the former heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Parker. So Daniel, we saw what you done against AJ. You looked absolutely sensational. Typically fighters, a lot of the time, like an easy one. Was it important for you to have an opportunity against someone who's as credible as Joe?
This is the fight that's going to lead me to, challenging for the undisputed world title. So, I need the tough test, and this is what my team put in front of me, so I'm confident of coming through it.
So Dubois, guys, straight away, not messing about. He's just saying, obviously, if he beats Joseph Parker, he's basically there for undisputed, and that is I would say that's bang on in my opinion. If he beats Joseph Parker, that's Daniel Dubois fighting for undisputed, and even if Joseph Parker beats Dubois, I think that would be Joseph Parker fighting for undisputed. So yeah, man, as he said, he's come through AJ, which again, he's come through Miller, Hrgovic and AJ, and he's well deserved to fight for undisputed if he beats Joseph Parker, in my opinion, and he defends his belt.
And that's the plan, obviously. No one likes to look too far ahead, but unifying all the belts, is that the objective, Daniel?
That's it. Getting all the belts and just being in the best fights, the biggest fights. This is one of them.
I do like the way Daniel Dubois is carrying himself a little bit, man. I know people think he's cocky or a bit dumb, and I don't know, guys, man. I think put it like this, guys. I'm not saying he does it on purpose. It's just Daniel Dubois being Daniel Dubois. But I think there's more to Daniel Dubois than people can look into. The guy is the youngest guy in the game right now. You could argue one of the guys with the best power in the game in that division. One of the guys with he's got a good chin. He's got a good gas tank, and he's quite physical. That's a nightmare for any heavyweight, in my opinion. So, and I like the way he's carrying himself, the way he's talking here, and obviously saying it to Joseph Parker. But Joseph Parker's not no old guy by any means himself. He's still quite young, but obviously Daniel Dubois is the much younger guy.
Joshua was the last one, so I'm on a roll, and I need.
And here's the thing, guys. Joseph Parker lost to Anthony Joshua. Obviously, it was a long time ago. It wasn't the best performance. It was just more of a boxing fight. But Joseph Parker understands that Daniel Dubois took AJ out, and not many people have taken AJ out. Let's be honest. Usyk did it. He schooled him. Well, no one's taken AJ out. Actually, let's go again. Let's go again. No one's taken AJ out ever. You could say Andy Ruiz took him out, but I would argue AJ was. He was stopped. Let's be honest. But he got up multiple times. The referee kind of waved it off. But with the Daniel Dubois one, AJ couldn't make the count. AJ could not make the count. He was on 9-10 and he could not make the count. No one's done that to Anthony Joshua, guys, and you have to give Dubois credit. That was Daniel Dubois who did it. You can't say it was AJ's just shit. Nah, that's what people get wrong, guys. People just think, nah, AJ was never that good. Daniel Dubois is actually that good, guys. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, and let's carry on.
Need to keep that momentum going, to become the best and prove that I'm the best.
And Joe,
So again, I like what Daniel Dubois is saying. He goes, going to keep the momentum going and prove he's the best.
Another chance to become a 2-time heavyweight champion of the world.
Yeah.
How important is this fight for you?
Oh, listen, it's a very important fight. It's a big fight and a big challenge and a big task. You have a fighter like Dubois who's come 3 good wins. Wins that I didn't think he was going to get. And say credit to him for getting those wins in the fashion that he did.
I don't think it was just Joseph Parker that didn't think he was going to win, guys. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of people. Every Daniel Dubois fight he was having, all I kept hearing was triple knee. He's going to quit. He's a quitter. He goes through Miller. He stops Miller. Then the Hrgovic fight, and a lot of people are saying, oh, Daniel Dubois got battered in sparring by him. He's going to quit. Daniel Dubois takes all Hrgovic shit, puts it back on Hrgovic, stops him. Then the AJ shit, and I saw all the people just cussing Daniel Dubois, saying, this guy's going to get finished. He's a Dumbo. He's too cocky. And then what happened to AJ, guys? Karma got served, guys. Karma got served. Now Joseph Parker, and I'm not being, I've already said this in my last breakdown. I have seen the people come out the woodworks again saying Joseph Parker gonna win. He's gonna beat Daniel Dubois. Now again, I'm not saying, look, I can't compare Joseph Parker to AJ. I don't see arrogance in Joseph Parker. He's a decent guy and I like the guy. But as I said, I will be doing a prediction video soon. I personally just think Daniel Dubois it's Daniel Dubois' time right now. But again, I'm not saying Joseph Parker can't win. He's gonna have to outbox him. But Daniel Dubois is on fire right now, guys. And Daniel Dubois has the ability to stop Parker. I'm not saying Parker can't do it to Dubois, but yeah, let's see what happens.
I feel like this is going to be the best Daniel Dubois that I'm going to be fighting. And this is going to be the best Joseph Parker. I've been in form, I've been patient, I've been working hard. I've had, 2 good wins, Deontay Wilder and Zhang, but Dubois is going to bring a different test and a different challenge.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to show all of that.
You saw the win against AJ and how good Daniel looked. Did that surprise you?
It did surprise me. And it surprised everyone else because everyone thought that AJ was going to win the fight.
There you go, guys. Look at this Daniel Dubois just looking down. Like, there's loads of people writing Daniel Dubois off, man. I'm telling you guys, I broke this down on my channel. And yeah, man, like every man and his gran was just saying, yo, Dubois is going to get peeled. All these boxing so-called experts, Dubois is not going to beat this guy. And they all just went quiet, guys. They went into shock. They either said, oh, AJ's got to take the rematch now. And I'll say it again, guys, if AJ fights Dubois again, AJ gets knocked the fuck out. There's no question about it. Like, it's not the right style for AJ. AJ's at the end of his career. I do think AJ could beat someone like Fury, in my opinion. I think AJ still can beat a lot of heavyweights. He's just not going to beat Daniel Dubois. The guy's, it's just his kryptonite. It's just not a good style for Anthony Joshua. It's too risky, guys. Not saying he can't, but nah, there's no point even rolling that dice. What are you going to do, man? I think AJ's made a smart move to do what he's doing. But people are mocking AJ for saying, oh, he's not taking a rematch. I think he was injured for one. Now, I want if that's the case, I want to make the case, why the fuck has Tyson Fury retired and he's lost to Usyk twice and he goes, I won both fights, and he doesn't want to fight AJ next, like he's some diva, like he's the best in the world. Nah, Fury should be fighting AJ, in my opinion. But if you're going to make an argument about AJ losing to Dubois, then in my opinion, Tyson Fury is running from AJ. So it's vice versa, man. That's all I'm going to say.
There were only a few that were bidding with Daniel. But the way that he finished the fight was a sensational knockout. And that's why he won the Ring Magazine Knockout of the Year. So it was good.
So fair play. At least Joseph Parker's saying it straight up. He's not like denying what Dubois done. He said it was a knockout of the year. And yeah, Dubois won the knockout of the year, knocking out Anthony Joshua. Well deserved.
I'm going to ask you about his last performance against Zhilei Zhang. Get off the canvas a couple of times to get up and do a job. How did you see the fight going into it? Who did you fancy going in?
I thought Parker would win it. Just on his, Zhang's activity in the ring isn't great. He has good moments, but I'm a different animal to Zhang. I'm on you all the time, I'm on you like a rash. I don't stop. So I think I'll just go through him, and that was a good performance. It was a good win, and he's been on form, hasn't he?
Yeah. Do you think this is a?
So look, I like Daniel Dubois' maturity here, guys, man. You remember the guy's like 27, probably going to come 28 soon. He's still young, guys, and he's maturing, guys. I can see the maturity in Daniel Dubois. He's speaking a little bit more with authority and a bit more confidence. But he's saying, like, I thought Joseph Parker would have won that fight. And what he just said there, which is a key detail, what people are not observing. People just think, oh, Joseph Parker is going to do the same thing he did to Zhang, like he'll outbox him. But remember, guys, Zhang was like in his 40s. And Zhang would have beat Parker. You know, the only reason Zhang didn't beat Parker is because of his age. In my opinion, he didn't have the gas tank to sustain it. Zhang was dropping Joseph Parker, like, I think once or twice in that fight. And if Zhang had more gas tank, more movement, more energy, younger, probably youth, I think he would have beat Parker. That's what didn't leave him to beat. That's what stopped him from beating Parker. Whereas Daniel Dubois, that guy, he literally what he said, he's going to be on Parker like a rash. Don't expect Daniel Dubois to get tired. He's not going to get tired. And I broke down in my last video, guys, make sure you check that one out, how Andy Lee and Joseph Parker's team said a jab stopped you with Joyce? Like, what you're going to do if Parker done it? And how Daniel Dubois already answered the question of that's overcoming that by how he came through Miller, how he came through Hrgovic, and how he beat AJ. He's a changed fighter. Do not hold on to what this man's done in the past. I'm not saying he won't quit. He could quit again in the future. But that's a bad strategy to say, yo, what if you get jabbed by Parker and you quit? I would not bank on it, guys. I would not bank on it.
A tougher fight than AJ? No.
Oh.
No.
Yo, so Daniel Dubois, some people are going to say this is disrespect. Is Joseph Parker a tougher fight than Anthony Joshua? Daniel Dubois just goes, nah, straight up, nope. And I'm with Daniel Dubois. AJ's got a shot because he's got power in his hands. And there was a moment in that fight where he put Daniel Dubois on the back foot, like on the fourth or fifth round before he got knocked out. So AJ's always got that chance. He's got that fucking equalizer. I'm not saying that Parker's not a big puncher or anything. He's not as big as these two guys. He's more better with his when it comes to his orthodox boxing. When it comes to his boxing and his movement, guys, and his technicality, he's much better at footwork. Maybe you could say speed, but then Daniel Dubois. So the movement and the boxing, not fighting, boxing is much better. But Daniel Dubois is really that type of fighter. He just keeps putting it on you. And again, you could go look at Joseph Parker's past performances where he's had someone like Joe Joyce. Now, don't get me wrong, Joe Joyce stopped Daniel Dubois as well with a jab, but it's two different scenarios. And don't forget, Parker's been beaten by Dillian White as well. So yeah, it's a tough one. Let's carry on.
You don't think so? What do you think about that, Joe?
Yeah, the fighter that I was back in the day when I fought AJ and all those other fighters, White and Joyce, and I'm a totally different fighter. I'm a lot more mature. And I appreciate the position that I'm in. I love what I do, right? And I'm a happy fighter, a very happy fighter. You know, I got the best balance of life and seeing family, training hard, eating well, resting good. And I've been building for this opportunity since the last fight. I know it's a different challenge, and I know Daniel's going to bring a lot more work than Zhang did. But we're up for it.
Yeah.
There's a good game plan that Andy's working on at the moment. And, we've still got 6 weeks before the fight. So a long time to put in some great work and be in a tip-top shape, ready for whatever it is you want to bring.
You mentioned Dandy.
So one thing I like about Parker, guys, he seems like this is the only thing I like about Parker. Not only thing, but this is why I prefer someone like Parker. And I don't want to bash Parker. I like Parker as a character. He's not delusional. He's not sitting there saying, I'm going to batter him. He never did what AJ was doing. From a psychological point of view, he's not insecure. You can see Parker giving Daniel Dubois the full credit. Like, I can see what you've done. You've done this, you've done that. Now, this is a case for Joseph Parker, I have to be honest. In terms of the mindset of Parker, it's the right mindset to have when you're going up against Daniel Dubois. I wouldn't say Joseph Parker's being rattled or anything right now. He understands the threat in front of him. And he says, I know what the threat is. I prepared for it. And we're ready. That's essentially what he's saying, in my opinion. So, that's good. That's good. There's no delusion here. There's no like Tyson Fury type of behavior. I'm the best in these waters. I'm fucking dauntless. There's no ego involved. So that there actually gives Parker a good I don't want to say advantage, but a good position to be, good chance to beat Daniel Dubois. And I'm not going to say he can't win. So the mindset is everything, and I do like his mindset.
Andy Lee, and I'm a big fan of Andy Lee, as I am a big fan of Don Charles. And I think that since you teamed up with both coaches, there's been a difference in terms of your performances and yourselves as men and fighters. How important do you think, I'll ask you both this question, but how important do you think the coach is going to be on the night?
Listen, my team is very small. I got Andy Lee, teacher, and I got George Lockhart doing strength, conditioning, nutrition. I think having a small team and then having someone like Andy who's going to guide me in this fight with the game plan. It's very important to have a good game plan and execute it well on the night.
What about?
Yeah, again, guys, just humble talks from Joseph Parker. I haven't seen anything brash yet, and I like what he's saying. He's got a game plan. Let's see what Dubois says.
Daniel's Don been important to you?
Yeah, to Don and the people my dad's brought in, Kieran, Gaddafi. We've got a good team.
Kieran Farrell, that was a strange one for me because he's obviously a smaller guy. I think he fought at lightweight and stuff, and to see Kieran Farrell, who hadn't really been involved with any big names previous to you, he's done a great job, hasn't he?
100%. Bringing that energy, that speed, that
a lot of heavyweights don't have. You know, he brings that ferociousness, and that's what I need in my fights. And going back to the old amateur days when I used to, 1-2, tap in and out, and that's it.
Is that why he's done it? Because, I mean, typically heavyweights are just big men, and I see Don Charles as a good coach for heavyweights. He knows how to train heavyweights, but did you want to have that speed about you as well?
A bit of turbo in there. So.
A bit of turbo.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, guys. Obviously, he's brought in some lightweights into his camp, which is one is Kevin Lee or someone he's on about, which again, it's a bit unusual. But again, Daniel Dubois, I'm not saying Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's got a small team. Daniel Dubois has got a good team. Don Charles, his father, and he mixes his training up. So both these guys, I would particularly say they both got good trainers. They're both going to have game plans, and I think it will be a good fight. I think it will be a very good fight. So yeah, let's carry on.
Well done on tonight. God bless. I want my revenge for the robbery in last time. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Where's Frank? Make it happen.
There was a moment after the last fight, so Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk, where you jumped into the ring and I could see what you're trying to do. You're trying to make a fight with Usyk, but did you find that a wee bit disrespectful because he's got to fight with you first?
Not really disrespectful, and they're always going to try to set up big fights. The same as Wilder and AJ. They try to set that up, and we came in and spoiled the party. So as much as they want to set up big fights, he has to focus on what's in front of him first and what's in the present time right now.
Joseph Parker just saying, look, it's not really disrespectful, but we stepped in and we spoiled the party. So you know what, Joseph Parker has got a point here, man. Because Daniel Dubois wanted to fight Usyk straight away. He wanted a big payday, and he wanted to fight Alexander Usyk. But Joseph Parker saying we spoiled the party, so he's got to fight what's in front of him. And this could again that overlooking of someone. I'm not saying Dubois is not overlooking Joseph Parker. There's signs he is. So you got to be careful when you do that. I'll give you more of my take, but Joseph Parker's that last hurdle where if you think, nah, I'm just going to get through him, I'm going to fight Usyk. Sometimes that guy will be the one that brings your number up. So let's see, Daniel Dubois' face looks a little bit disgusted while Joseph Parker's saying this.
Obviously, the landscape's changing. We've just heard that Tyson Fury has announced his retirement. So we talked...
Look at the disgust face.
But Daniel already.
Tyson Fury announced his retirement. Guys, check my video out on this Tyson Fury retirement stuff, man. If you want to see some funny content, make sure you check my Tyson Fury stuff out. But let's carry on.
About trying to unify, that's the objective. What's your next moves if you beat Daniel?
That's everyone's goal. Is to be in boxing, to be a world champion, to unify. I'm fully focused on one thing, and that's this guy in front of me. When I'm done with him, then I can move on and think of other things. But for now, it's just him.
So that's a good mindset from Parker. He's saying, look, I'm not focused on the other things. I'm just focused on Daniel Dubois. Whereas, look, you've got to look at Daniel Dubois' side. He's a little bit of a gulp in Daniel Dubois. And again, I'm not saying this is Daniel Dubois like overlooking Joseph Parker. I know a lot of people are thinking that Daniel Dubois is just overlooking Joseph Parker. I don't think so. I've already broke down in my last fight. I think this is just Daniel Dubois' character. It's just him being him. If he feels that he can beat Joseph Parker, that's not disrespect. I don't think he's taking Joseph Parker lightly at all. I just don't. I don't believe that. I just believe the confidence he has from the last 3 fights. Like, look, think about it like this. If you've gone through the gauntlet here, you've gone through Miller, tough old fat bastard, cheeseburger, 12 rounds, stop him at the last round. You've gone through Hrgovic. People say Hrgovic is a boogeyman. No one wants to fight him. And what I saw of Hrgovic's face after that fight, he talked about the sparring, talked about all this shit. Daniel Dubois left his fucking eyes cut open. I never heard about Hrgovic ever again. Daniel Dubois, I don't want to say Daniel Dubois ended his career, but Daniel Dubois ended him for a while. Then AJ, then that so-called AJ, who is going to be the next in line, battered Francis Ngannou. AJ is back. He just goes through all these people. These ain't easy fights. Now, if you look at Joseph Parker, he went through Wilder. He had a good... He didn't go through Wilder. Yeah, you could say he outboxed him. He beat Zhang, again, close fight. And he beat 2 other people, which are not really too known. Who's had a tougher competition? Daniel Dubois. Now, that doesn't always mean Daniel Dubois is going to win, but I have to analyze it. One guy's gone through fucking fire. I'm not discrediting Joseph Parker. He's got a different style. To beat Wilder the way he did, no one's done that. So I'll give that to Joseph Parker. Obviously, Fury's knocked him out, whatever. But he shut him down. So, yeah. But Daniel Dubois' face is just looking at him like, I don't know, man. People are going to think he's overlooking him. I just think when you know someone, when you know something in yourself and what you're going to do, you don't really need to say much.
Daniel, are you the new heavyweight king in the UK? Would it be fair to say that?
Yeah, I've seen myself as putting myself through with this win as number one. You know, up there with all the top names. You know, all the old dinosaurs are starting to move on, and I think he's one of them. He's been in many hard fights, and he has got many miles on the
just
clock.
begun.
He goes, all the old dinosaurs are beginning to move on. Fucking hell, man. Daniel Dubois is not an idiot, man. People love cuss him and everything. He's got talk. He's got talk, and then Joseph Parker goes, I've just begun. To be fair to Joseph Parker, though, he's not old as he's 33. He's probably still got, like, if he wants to, he could probably do another 4 or 5 years if he wants to. Realistically, probably 3 or 4 years, but he's not as old as like other fighters like Fury and what's it called, the Usyk. They're obviously towards the end, but it just depends. But Daniel Dubois still 28, guys. He's got at least another, you could say, 10 years in the game, 27, 28 at least. So yeah.
And I found the formula that works for me, and I've only just begun. It's crazy to be 33 years old and only loving it and enjoying it way more now.
Yeah.
And I'm a happy fighter.
That's not an old man for a heavyweight anyway.
Really, I'm just coming into my prime.
Yeah, you know what? You got to give. I'll give this to Joseph Parker, man. I ain't gonna sit here and say Joseph Parker's washed. He's not really washed. And honestly, he could be coming into his prime. Remember, heavyweights usually go into their prime in their early 30s, mid 30s. I can't say mid, but early-ish 30s, going into mid 30s. I could see Joseph Parker definitely going into his prime right now. But again, Daniel Dubois is just on an upward trajectory as well. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll make him old on the night.
Okay, Daniel Dubois left a cheeky comment there. I'll make him old on the night.
You think so?
I'll make him old on the night.
You talk too much, man.
100%.
You talk too much.
Well, I think there's a respect here between you.
But again, people, look, for example, I already broke this down in my last fight. I don't want to go through it now. If Daniel Dubois said this to AJ, guess what AJ would have said? I'm going to smack a fucking chair across your face. He would have been insecure. This is why I like Joseph Parker. He's not insecure. He's having a bit of banter. This is just Daniel Dubois just taking a dig in it. I'll make him old on the night. Joseph Parker's like, you ain't going to do it, man. You talk too much. It's just normal boxing. But so this is why I say, from a psychological point of view, which is what I work on, I saw the psychological flaw when Dubois was fighting AJ. I saw insecurity from AJ. I saw it. I saw the psychological flaw when Daniel Dubois was fighting Hrgovic. Hrgovic kept talking about the sparring. I saw Miller chatting a lot out of his ass. I don't see that much psychological flaws in Joseph Parker. Does that mean Joseph Parker's going to beat Daniel Dubois? No. But I say one thing. It gives Joseph Parker a better chance to beat him than AJ, Hrgovic and Miller. So it will be a close fight. I don't think Daniel Dubois will just go through Joseph Parker. He could. But I do think Joseph Parker's going to bring something to the table here.
You take
Guys,
guys
going to say that?
but I am going to win. I want to win.
Yeah.
No, I've been building from this house since I started boxing. So,
Good
from
on
the
you.
age of
Well
7,
done.
so
That's great.
I'm ready, more than prepared.
Well, save it for the 22nd of February.
But do you respect him, Daniel, don't you?
I respect all the fighters that get in the ring, and I respect them all. When you put them gloves on, it's a real game, a real sport, gladiator sport. So there's respect there all the time.
So this is what I'm trying to say, guys. Daniel Dubois is not like disrespecting anyone by saying, oh, this, whatever. It's just, he still respects the fight. It's just fighting talk, guys, and you don't want to be insecure about it. So Daniel Dubois is just saying, look, I respect all the fighters.
Clearly, both of you are very, very confident. I'll ask you first, Daniel. What do you think what's Joe's best attributes?
He's a fighter. He's a good fighter. He's like a veteran. So he's been in many battles, and
His experience, I suppose.
his
Yeah.
experience. That's it.
I was going to flip.
Daniel Dubois couldn't really give his own answer there. He took all of this guy's answers and he just ran with them. So, veteran experience and okay, fair play, but I don't know. I think Joseph Parker, he never really gave his own comments.
And say, what's the worst thing he does? Is there anything you can exploit?
I won't give it away now. No, I'm just ready to fight. I think my energy, my speed, and everything will expose these weaknesses.
Ooh, energy and speed expose his weaknesses.
Same to you, Joe. What do you think? What do you think Daniel does really well?
He's got a good injury, a good jab, and he's found some self-belief. and confidence. But it all stopped soon.
How do you win the fight? And
I've said it before, I'm going to be too smart.
Fair play, guys. Look, Joseph Parker's looking at him in his face and he's saying he's got some good self-belief. But Joseph Parker says, I'm going to be too smart for you. So Joseph Parker thinks he's going to be able to do some sort of tactics, some boxing sort of tactics. That's Joseph Parker's plan here. He's not going to fight with Daniel Dubois, from what he's saying here. I don't think he will win that fight if he fights with him. But if he uses his footwork, stays outside, tries to shut him down, he may have a chance, but Daniel Dubois is not going to get off him. And he's looking at him in his face and he's telling him this. So fair play. I can't really see too much psychological weakness from either fighter here.
Precision. You look,
Precision.
I'm going to mess up all these plans.
Look at Daniel Dubois. So look, Joseph Parker's about to give a speech. Daniel Dubois is not interested. Daniel Dubois, from a psychological level, said, I'm going to mess up all his plans.
Destroy them all and just go through him, you know.
Destroy him all and just go for him. So look, again, Joseph Parker was giving a speech. Daniel Dubois just didn't want to hear it. Now, people are going to say, oh, is that psychological? Nah. I actually think Daniel Dubois, I don't want to say outpointed Joseph Parker with the psychology there. They're both neck and neck. There's no real guy ahead. But what I'm saying is Daniel Dubois is not getting affected. Like, the talk Joseph Parker was doing is, I'm going to be too sharp, I'm going to be precision, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that here. It doesn't even affect Daniel Dubois. He's like, I'm just going to mess up your plans.
Everything he brings, I'll be more, stronger, faster.
he's going to try. And you try.
You are
You're going to try.
You're going to try your best.
You know, we'll see though. We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, guys, look, man. Again, I on my channel, guys, I do analyze psychology quite a lot. Like, don't just sit here and think, oh, what am I talking about, guys? This is what I do on my channel. I look into little details that people don't look into, and guys, I try to make account of the psychological side before a fight. And with my big fights, with my main fights, I'm usually spot on with it. Here and there, I've been wrong. So what I'm seeing right now, look, I'm talking fractions. I'm talking probably 1% edge will go to Daniel Dubois here, in my opinion. Now, again, I'm not underestimating Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker is getting Daniel Dubois, maybe kind of overlooking him. So that gives someone a chip on their shoulder. So I do think that's Joseph Parker's mindset. But I think if Joseph Parker was trying to intimidate Daniel Dubois and just say, I'm going to do this, that's never going to work. And Joseph Parker's got no choice but to sit here and nod at him and say, okay. Because Daniel Dubois will bring it, and it's evident in his last 3 fights. Joseph Parker's going to know he's not going to have a guy that's mentally, psychologically not going to want to fight. That Daniel Dubois is dead and buried. Same time, there's a new Parker here. I would lean psychologically slightly to Daniel Dubois here. But it's nothing like AJ. It's nothing like Milan, nothing like Hrgovic. Out of all those people, Joseph Parker's going to have the best chance to beat Daniel Dubois 100%. Look at this face-off. Mean mugging each other.
respect to both of us for taking the fight, and may the best man win. Do we get a handshake?
No, after the fight.
After the fight, okay.
So Daniel Dubois straight up. I think Joseph Parker would have shook his hand, but Daniel Dubois being putting the authority down. He's the main man at the moment. Nah, after the fight. So yeah, guys, I don't think there's much more to say. Again, if I had to lean one way or another, definitely check my part 1 out. I personally still would lean. I'm not saying that Daniel Dubois is affected psychologically. I know there's a lot of people out there, they're going to sit there and say, oh, Dubois is getting too cocky, this, that. Watch is going to get battered. Paul Parker's going to do him. And I like Parker 100%. I like Dubois as well. But in my opinion, from what I've taken here, no one's really out psychologically anyone in this fight at the moment from a psychological point of view. I would say it's mostly neck and neck. But if I had to go very slightly to one guy, I'd go towards Dubois. That's just the psychology side. Psychology plays a role in the fight, in my opinion. It always does. Most of this fight game is 80 to 90% mental. There's the physical side as well. And I will be doing a breakdown, guys, of the fight in terms of the strategies both these guys will be using as the fight gets closer. So make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I do things different on this channel. But yeah, guys, more content coming. So make sure you like and subscribe. And I will be dropping more stuff soon. But I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.